The lions have just caught a springbuck. And this is now where lions are getting playful. About a minute and a half too late, as we've come down into this drift, this river crossing, there's just commotion going on everywhere, and the lions have just caught a springbuck. And just off to the side over there, two sub-adult lions that are busy holding down the springbuck. And you can see here come the rest down now, starting to get a little bit interested about what's going on. This actually might have happened a little bit longer ago than a few seconds. And these two lions over here might be squabbling over the last bits of the kill, just because I can't see what's going on yet. If that's a full carcass or if it's only parts. The lion that's lying on the kill and holding it down is obviously trying to maintain dominance and say, this piece of meat is mine, don't come near it. And, you know, he's trying to cover and protect as much of the meat as possible. There's always a lot of commotion around a lion kill. A lot of angry growling, snarling, pawing, hitting one another. There'll even be some, depending on how hungry the animals are. And these two guys are brothers. There'll always be this massive amount of fighting in that. Even though there's such strong and close family bonds, the lions will fight for their share of the meat. And even from a young age, survival of the fittest, dominance, hierarchies start getting formed at a very young age. And particularly with young males, when these are the guys, all of these groups of males that are born together within the pride, one day, 2.5 years of age, they will leave and form their own coalitions. It's at stages like this where the dominance hierarchy already starts getting formed. As we came down here, I thought these guys had just caught that springbuck with the whole commotion and everything. But now as everything has settled down and animals have started moving again, and I can see there's two young lioness that have gone over to the initial site of where the springbuck would have been brought down and opened up. You can see one or two of them are actually just trying to eat the last bits of entrails, the intestines. It's obviously not the best part of the kill. Unfortunately, one little springbuck, that's a 35 kilogram animal, split between 11 lions, is not going to go very far. Hence the lions are making sure they fight for every little scrap of meat. I think that's the amazing thing about the bush and Shamwari is you never know what you're going to see. We climbed in a vehicle, we've driven for 3 minutes. And as we came into our first river crossing around the corner here, we sit with a pride of lions on a kill. It's completely unexpected, and every time you go out, you're going to see something different. And now you can see as this little bit of the growling has subsided, the guy at the front has now started feeding on the remnants of the carcass. So as they're starting to move this carcass, now we can see there's actually not much left of it. This obviously happened maybe an hour or two ago. It's still very, very fresh in terms of the signs and that around over here. The lions all still within the vicinity, and I just think, yeah, these lions made very quick work of this springbuck. So as to what happened here and how, it's always quite difficult when you didn't see what happened. But if you look at where we're sitting over here, we've come down into a river crossing, a drift, and we've got these very steep banks on either side over here. This is a very dangerous area for animals to come down to get to water to drink. And you'll see they're very, very nervous because this is where predation takes place, as we've now seen. Lions are very clever. They will use this as an opportunity because you've got an environmental barrier over here. It's a region where an animal can be slowed down somehow, whether it's trying to escape up the road or up these banks, and the lions will use all of this to their advantage when hunting. As to who brought it down, there's a couple of adult females here as well. I doubt the sub-adults would have done it solely by themselves. They definitely would have had the help of the adult females, but more and more, as these guys are getting older, they're getting more and more involved in the hunts, and the females are allowing them to do a lot more of the final holding down of the carcass. Once they catch it, possibly move off as soon as the cubs arrive, they'll stand back, and then actually it's a bit gory, but the final killing will be done by the youngsters. It's their way of learning, it's their way of figuring out what works and what doesn't, and at the end of the day, they don't want what they've caught to manage to get away somehow. You can see some of the older sub-adults have got quite big stomachs. In other words, they've eaten a lot of meat, and a couple of the smaller cubs, the much younger litter, almost no meat in their tummies. So again, a definite hierarchy at a lion kill. Biggest and strongest eats first and gets the lion's share. As that saying, curiosity killed the cat. And this youngster over here is just mesmerized with us in this vehicle. He's just sitting here busy watching every little bit of movement, and I'd love to know what's going through her mind. So most of the pride has now moved off. There's already a lot of activity with the lions in terms of playing with one another, pouncing. So quite clearly there's not a massive amount of meat that went around, but they're starting to get active and stalk one another and play, and just being all sociable again at the end of a quick breakfast. Very often with the youngsters anyway, small bits of the kill will be turned into a bit of a trophy in a game. These two youngsters saw this guy moving off with a whole bunch of the skin, and this is now where lions are getting playful. You'll see these lions start playing, chasing one another, and one of them will have this little trophy, whether it be a part of a leg or a foot or something like that, or a hoof, and they'll be running around chasing one another, and this little morsel becomes the prize. And again, there will be a lot of acrobatics and jumping, and it's all very important. It's all learning behavior. It's all developmental stuff, and it's teaching lions capabilities of what they can do. And a lot of it is almost reenactment of behaviors that they would use in an actual kill. As they're busy running and the one chases the other one, how that foot is always coming up trying to do a typical lion hold catch. And it's these games that they play as youngsters that are teaching them how to hunt later on in life. See, the young cubs are still quite speckled with the dark brown splotching. It helps with camouflage when they're very tiny. As they get older, they'll lose most of it. The females will retain some of it, but it'll almost completely be gone, and then obviously the males don't have much at all. And there's the pounce on the back. That is so vital for them when they're learning how to hunt and when they are actually executing a hunt later on in life. Pouncing onto the back of a zebra or a kudu, or even a big animal like a buffalo that we've seen so many times. As she's stalking up on this one, how the ears go down, lowering her profile. This is typical, it's play behavior, but this is what's teaching them how to hunt later on in life. And we got a springbok leg as the trophy, and now that's going to turn into a game. Well guys, that was absolutely phenomenal. We got here as these guys were feeding on that springbok. We didn't get the initial catch, but we otherwise saw the entire process as it's taken place. The cubs now busy finishing up. The adults have already moved off a while ago. There's been massive amounts of playing and interaction. Just busy watching these guys jumping as I'm talking to you. But absolutely amazing. So fantastic that you can head out in the morning, you don't know what you're going to see, and just this most incredible sighting has unfolded between us now. And it looks like the last few are going to start moving off soon. So I think we've had the most incredible sighting. I'm going to head off and carry on with the rest of my day. Hello everyone, my name's Andrew Kearney. I'm the Ranger Manager at Shamwari Private Game Reserve. I just want to take a moment to say thank you very much for all the support and feedback that we've been getting on our brand new channel, Shamwari TV. Haven't followed us yet? Hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and hit that notification bell. Stay tuned for our next episode, and I'll see you right here at Shamwari Private Game Reserve.